Hey guys, Mike from Gettin, Greasy Garage. Just finished up my mount for the control valve assembly for the air ride and all my bulkhead fittings for when I route the airlines inside the frame rails. I'll run the airline into the back, screw this to the frame rail, and then run my lines up to this bulkhead panel, this will mount really just like that with short lines in the trunk. Again, this is stuff that, in the scheme of things, it takes time to fabricate all this. Cut round circles with a hole saw, mark everything out and drill holes, paint everything, put fittings in it, get everything lined up right. This is going to sit right in front of the air tank. The air tank lines will hook into these, and then each one of these lines here, like I say, will come down, plug into these, which will go through the trunk floor, on the underneath of the trunk floor, one each to the one line of the right rear airbag, left rear airbag, which was just a couple feet, and then these lines will go over to a bulkhead fitting, go into the frame rail, where the front lines, the airbag line will run all the way up the frame rail. Oh, that's a box, but all the way up the frame rail, and come out just behind the cross member there, and then plug into the airbag. So, got my part of my rear airbag mounts painted. I'll be using these upper plates. These are just extras with some other plates that'll actually put the airbags behind the rear end, giving it a better ride. It really pays to do your research on this stuff and where to locate these airbags to get the best ride out of them, best ride and handling for the car. I've said it time and time again, but I don't want this thing riding and driving like a marshmallow, and using the right pieces and the right parts, be able to get everything mounted where I want it. But I'm putting weld-through primer on everything before I weld it on, and then once everything's welded to the frame of the car, then it'll get painted. So, yeah, not a lot going on. It's a Sunday. I'm just taking it easy. I got some hardware and primer. Get these things painted. Got all my bulkhead fittings for the air system done. These I actually have to mount before I put the upper control arms in, because once the control arms are in, they're going to be a pain in the ass to get airlines connected to the backside. So that'll all get routed. Had to also get another piece of metal that I'm waiting on. I'll have tomorrow. A real piece of heavy angle iron to use for the upper controller or upper link mounts on the frame end of things for the rear. So yeah, it's a lot of trial and error when it comes to things like suspension. When you buy a kit for a car, a complete kit that's bolt in and plug and play, somebody already spent the time engineering it and figuring out what works, what doesn't, so that when you or I bolt those things onto these cars, that there is no issues. Well, they don't make those for a 59 Fairlane, so everything has to be checked, rechecked, and every time I would get ready to weld in the upper control links, or the upper links for the 4-bar. I knew something was going to interfere, the exhaust, or when I moved the rear end up and down, there wasn't enough travel, or there was a binding, the angles weren't right, so it would create a bind, so it would limit the travel. All this stuff has to be figured out. And it's all trial and error. Put the links in there, tack weld them, raise the car up and down, climb under it, look at it, lift it, look at it again, figure out it's not going to work, and then figure out another way to make everything work. And I got the front dialed in, it's just like the front shocks, and all I went through trying to figure them out. So, well, now at least I've got the back straightened out as far as how I'm going about it, so that I'll be able to put the airbags in, exhaust will be able to fit through without interference. It's going to make a little bit more work in the back to do it this way, but it's going to pay off in the end. But anyway, I'm real happy with the way that all these turned out just for an afternoon project on a Sunday. They'll look good and do what they're supposed to do, and yeah, so car's coming along. There's just so much of this designing and engineering stuff isn't really video worthy. It's not till I get something like this figured out that, oh yeah, look guys, I can mount this like this, and then I have something to show you. But getting to just this point, there was some trial and error and where to mount this, where to put the lines through the floor of the car so that they didn't interfere with anything. All that has to be figured out. Finally got these rubber isolators. Now I'm not so worried about vibration or anything from this control valve assembly, but it's going to have lines run from the tank and the compressor, so air is moving through it. It can't move around. I don't want it making any weird noises or vibrations, so went ahead and put rubber isolators on it. It'll look pretty good. It'll sit on the floor of the trunk like so. If I turn this and a little light and make it look better. Good idea. So that's somewhat what it'll look like. But, this is just a piece of sheet metal that I took and figured out the shape I wanted, drilled all the holes, put it in sheet metal brake, bent it, sandblasted it, painted it, primed it, then painted it, and then mounted everything to it. So, like this guy here. This is actually the right way up right here. Getting these all clocked straight. You can sit there with the wrench for a while and turn them till, till the camera makes it look kind of weird, but, anyway, that's what I got for you guys for on a Sunday here. Once I get the metal tomorrow, I can get to weld the tank and be done with it. So anyway, my phone's running out of room here, so we'll call it a night, and see you guys in the next one. Thanks for supporting the channel. Please like, share, and subscribe for more. Ring the bell for notifications. Questions or comments, leave them down below. Thanks, guys.